Okay, hi. This is Leave the Review, Take the Cannoli. I'm Tony. Joe's not here. We're not telling him we're doing this, all right? This is kind of a shitty movie review show, so we want you to have as much fun as I have during this. I need you to get on my level. First off, have 3 beers before you start watching this. Secondly, we've turned this into the greatest drinking game ever, and by the greatest drinking game ever, I mean I don't want you standing at the end of it. Here's what you gotta do. 1, every time I swear, take a drink. 2, every time Joe says take a drink. 3, every time I roll my eyes or look completely bored, take a drink. Every time Joe goes ahead and talks over me, take a drink. Every time I talk over Joe, take 2 drinks. If you see a dog pop into the shot, take a drink. If you see a huge pussy, go ahead and take 2 drinks. All right? Every time I get up to go to the bathroom, you waterfall that bitch or chug it. And if Joe and I get into an actual argument, then you finish that beer and get another one. If you're drinking wine, you're not classy. You're just drinking a little cheaper. And if you're drinking hard liquor, I kind of sort of hope this kills you. All right. Thanks again for Leave the Review. Take the cannoli. Have a great day.
Welcome back to Leave the Review, Take the Cannoli, the sober edition. Unless Tony starts drinking his Bloody Mary, then God knows what will happen. If it was me, I'd start throwing up.
I'll wake up.
What outfit are you dressed as today?
I'm dressed as I'm sober and it's bright out and it's early. So
What
can we get this
God
done?
awful hat you're wearing.
Shut up.
No, not because it's Iowa. It looks like a trucker's hat. Congratulations on the win, by the way.
Yeah,
59-3.
We beat a community college. Woohoo!
This is part 2 of the How I Met Your Mother series, which we've already talked about. Slam and Salmon. Thank God that's over with.
Oh,
We're about to talk about Jeff, who lives at home, and then we will also talk about. You okay?
fine.
Is that your? I remember my first drink too.
This is good.
As Senator Stubblefield would say.
I made this right.
We're also going to talk about American Pie. Oh, fuck.
Everyone watch this. We're also going to talk about American Pie. Currently, we're going to talk about Jason Segel with Jeff, who lives at home.
Right.
We're going to move on to Neil Patrick Harris and Starship Troopers. That'll actually be our wrap-up. And then, don't worry, I'm drunk for that one. It's better. And we'll also have Josh Radner from Happy Thank You More Please.
Yes.
Right now, we are going to do Jeff, who lives at home, who is also, Jason Segel, has Judy Greer, who I absolutely just adore. I don't know why.
Right. and
then it's directed by Mark and J. Duplass, who Mark Duplass you'll know from
Oh.
The League.
Oh.
He's the guy who does The League.
And what's her name?
The wife is in Jenny from the show, yeah.
She's not a classic beauty, but there's just something about her. I think it's one of those. She's good looking, no doubt, but then her personality also makes her even better.
I'd fuck her.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think you've ever turned anything down. By the way, we got a couple contests going just before we get into the movies. What was it, 200 likes? And
at 200 likes, we are going to give away a date with Senator Stubblefield.
A dinner and a movie, of course.
Yes.
And then we want you, whoever wins that, we want them on our show so we can talk about how it went.
And just so you know, nobody is prohibited on this show, so anybody can win. So please feel free that if you are some absolute 7 foot tall, 500 pound freak of nature, we would reinforce the couch and like to have you on it because we've got enough weight on that couch as is.
And guys are welcome too because Senator kind of, he's into that.
And on the upside, he's not here today, so we can just go ahead and say anything. And I've got a fairly good idea that he doesn't actually watch the show.
Of course not.
No.
He probably doesn't know how to get on.
Or get off. Secondly, our second contest is if we can get to 250 likes
before
the end of October, before Halloween, I will shave my beard, which I'm fairly attached to, and I will look completely different, and I feel like I will lose some of my powers. And that would be awful. Third is if we get to 400 likes, or when we get to 400 likes, we will give away a Leave the Review, Take the Cannoli t-shirt, which is self-designed by Joe and myself. So that'll be awesome because it'll be a one-of-a-kind t-shirt because I probably won't remember how we designed it. Last but not least, I'm going to throw one more contest out there just to try to get some stuff going. Whoever drops the 5th movie suggestion in our inbox on Leave the Review, takethecannoli.com. Joe and I will both...
Fifth?
The 5th
We've
email.
got what, 2?
No, we've had none in our inbox.
None in our inbox.
Right,
Yes,
so I want
right.
to send to our inbox. The 5th one that we receive will win an autographed version of our Bloody Mary mix, which obviously you can see I'm a little heavy on the vodka and a little low on the mix. So you will get to win whatever is left in there, plus our autographs, which should be worth, not going to lie, ones of twos of dollars, 15 to 20 years down the road.
Whatever the paper's worth, I would think.
Essentially. So please go ahead and visit us on Leave the Review, Take the Cannoli on Facebook, and like our page, share our page so it gets out there. Drop us suggestions for movies that you want us to see. We will watch them, or if we've seen them, we will go ahead and review them instantly. We are up on YouTube. Leave the Review, takethecannoli.com.
And on iTunes for our podcast.
Remember to check out both the YouTube and the podcast. On the podcast, you will get additional things where they are kind of looped together under the themes, as opposed to the YouTube where they're all separate. You'll also get the news, which we are going to discuss, the current happenings in Hollywood. So if you think that I'm a cynical drunk now, just wait until you get to me talking about poor rich people and their problems, because that's something that always goes over well with me.
Well, you live with them.
I live in Bettendorf. That's where the rich people are from. We're like the Hollywood of the Quad Cities. Go Iowa. Now, furthermore, we're going to move on to Jeff, who lives at home.
Which, by the way, you did suggest that to me. Like, happy, thank you, more, please. I just watched it recently. You know, it's a movie. I thought it was kind of boring. Not. Man, that looks like a good drink.
It's gonna get me there.
It's not an Easy Rider boring, but it's kind of boring. Jason Segel plays a character. I already forgot the character's name. Jeff. Because he lives at home or sits at home or jerks off at home or whatever the hell you do
I'm
at
assuming
home.
that's all stuff he does at home.
Right. But it's basically, did you notice, you remember when Lily broke up with Marshall? Yeah, it's basically that character, I think. Because he's just like down, depressed, looking for meaning in life, something
Absolutely
like that.
disagree.
Well,
I'll get to my review.
I'm sure.
Go on with your crap.
Anyways, you've got this depressed stoner guy that's living at home, and he thinks he sees signs, and it takes him from the couch to whatever. Then when he's doing all this traveling that he does, walking around the town, he gets beat up by some people that take his wallet. Then he starts walking around more, happens to run into his brother, who then all of a sudden they see his brother's wife, who's going to try to cheat on the brother. So it does all of a sudden seem like, oh, okay, he does have a point to what he's doing. If it wasn't for him, then he wouldn't be able to save a marriage, and then in the end save a couple kids from drowning. So it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't think you need to see it at all. I thought we were going to review Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but I do like the idea of something that nobody's seen before. So I give it 1.5 stubbies.
And now for the better opinion over here. I've seen Jeff Who Lives at Home twice now. I liked it both times. Jeff Who Lives at Home is, like he said, starring Jason Segel. If you can look up, he plays the brother. That's driving me nuts. Because he was on Saturday Night Live. Like, you know him if you see him. But he's... First off, Jeff lives in his basement.
Wait, by the way, is the guy that plays his brother the same guy that plays in The Hangover? The guy that loses his tooth in The Hangover?
No.
Well, they kind of look similar.
No, different guy.
I think.
Different guy. Okay, Jeff lives in his mom's basement. He's 30 years old, which is pretty sad. But the big travesty in their life that they go over is their father died when they were very young, which, you're 30 years old, dude. I mean, move out of the basement. Don't get me wrong. And he's just a stoner down there who, when Joe says that he's looking for signs, he's actually seen the movie Signs way too many times.
Right.
Which, in a side note, is an absolutely awful movie. Because why would aliens that are hurt by water travel to a world that's 98% water or whatever the hell? It's a terrible movie. Regardless. Jeff lives at home. He's seen the movie Signs, and because of this, he thinks that everything's connected in the universe. I don't see him as a depressed loser. He's obviously not happy, but I think a lot of people, especially at that age, are searching for ways to connect things in the universe, or ways for the universe to be talking to them, or ways to figure out like what is the next step in life. And I think that's what Jeff's trying to do. He's just trying to do it really stoned.
That's what you do when you're 20.
No,
Not
when I was
30.
20, I
You are
drank
30.
a
You're
lot.
almost
Yeah,
30.
when I was 20, I drank a lot and fucked whatever I could. I didn't have time to think about life when I was 20. Now I'm 30. I've got all the time in the world. I just live in my own house. Because my parents kicked me out of their basement. But anyway, no, as he goes searching, he gets this prank phone call, or not prank phone call, he gets the wrong number, looking for some guy named Kevin. He decides that he needs to find whatever this Kevin is. And then there's just a series of coincidences throughout the movie as he's going on his way to the hardware store to fix his mom's shutters, the only thing she wants for her birthday, who's played by Susan Sarandon, by the way, who's an excellent actress, has just gone the way of independent lately. But just leave the fly alone, Joe. We're outside. Leave the fly
It's annoying
alone.
the shit out of me.
Smash it against the cake. Anyway, what ends up happening is he's on the bus. He sees somebody with Kevin on the back of their jersey, so he decides to follow him. He ends up getting adopted in this pickup basketball game. They play basketball. He thinks Kevin's pretty cool. Kevin's like, let's smoke some weed together, and then he gets jumped and mugged by Kevin and his thug friends, which is unfortunate, of course, and to most people that would lead them to believe that, okay, this Signs thing sucks, but Jeff is still looking for that search in the universe, that connection in the universe, and he goes about writing to his brother, whose marriage is just in shambles, and he just bought a Porsche without consulting his wife because he's a moron. And on record, he bought a Boxster, so he bought the chick version of the Porsche on top of it. Good job, dude. Anyway, as it goes through and through, he ends up kind of finding that meaning, or at least that meaning for one day. And it's not until the end. It's not going to make you double over laughing, but for anybody who's been in that situation or that's been trying to find that meaning, I think you get the end and it gives you that smile and that chuckle that kind of says, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm going to be much more generous than Joe on this. I'm going to give this movie 3 stubbies. I'm going to give it a solid 3 stubbies. I'm not going to say it's a must-see, but I'm saying it's something that you will not regret seeing. So I do hope you give this movie, Jeff Who Lives at Home, a look. It'll definitely be worth it.
Did you just say you gave it 3 stubbies?
I gave it 3 stubbies.
Think of all the other movies we give 3 stubbies. This one is just, there's no point to this movie. I do like the
I watched
though.
The Slammin' Salmon.
Well, I'll give you that, but
this movie's freaking Casablanca to me right now.
I've had my wisdom teeth pulled out, and it sounds like I enjoyed that better. But I did like the ending to it.
That could possibly have been the worst example I've ever heard.
Nobody likes getting their wisdom teeth pulled out. Nobody
likes having surgery, period. Nobody wakes up in themselves and says, I want to have surgery today. Nobody likes going to the dentist.
Nobody wakes up and says they want to see the Slammin' Salmon.
No!
That doesn't mean this movie should get 3 stars. Stubbies.
Sorry, Roper. It's 3 frickin' stubbies, and I stand by. You know what? I'll tell you what. Watch the damn movie, and I want you guys write in and tell us what you think.
If you can even find this movie anywhere.
It's in every family video. Hey, there's a plug. Can I get free rentals now? Please?
That'd be great.
Seriously, I'm paying you like 50 cents a rental for shitty fucking movies.
Like Jeff Who Lives at Home.
I hate you, Joe. I hate you so much.
Have a good day.